Hey guys, welcome to Grit and Grace. I'm Colton.
Howdy y'all, I'm Matthew.
This is episode 5. Thank you for supporting us so far on this journey. And tonight we're going to be talking about the lie that is, I'm fine. Which we all have a version of I'm fine. Maybe multiple versions of I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was mainly around people that love me.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely at work, I always use the I'm fine line.
Why?
Oh, because back then I was not a vulnerable human being. I couldn't tell people my deep, dark secrets.
Fair.
Why? Yeah. Well, I walked around with these things called shame and guilt, and they were extremely heavy.
Yeah.
And they made me feel paralyzed in a way, but in a way I could still half-ass somewhat function and do my job and get there. But I was not fine by any means mentally. I probably looked physically sick as well, which is why people would ask me if I was fine or not. But my response, it might have been a trauma response or the guilt and the shame, but I always said I was fine and there was nothing wrong. But deep down inside there was a lot wrong. And I definitely used through all of it. I was either high or drunk all the time, especially at work. I couldn't let my coworkers know that something was going on with me. Getting suggestions and advice from people that were just as, I guess in my mind, just as fucked up as I was, probably wasn't going to help me in the first place. Because I guess the people that I worked with in most of the places, they just made the same mistakes instead of learning lessons, and I kind of did the same exact things back then. And yeah, I had a lot of the I'm fine, even in school. Definitely around family, like I mentioned like 2 minutes ago. How did it look for you, Matthew?
Yeah, it was anyone. It didn't really matter who it was, especially around family, because I felt like I was always such a burden to everybody anyways. And why would I want them thinking about my bullshit? That's my shit. I got to deal with that. It's not their worries. Why would I put my worries on them? They might say that they care or that they love me, but do I believe it? No.
I had a hard time with that as well.
Yeah. I even had a friend send me a message recently. It was a pretty awesome message, and it was really considered really, really nice to get that, but instantly it was, well, that's bullshit. I know you meant to send that to someone else, because that's not me. That's not this piece of shit. Somebody doesn't say something nice to, or about a piece of shit. I always felt like the icing on the turd.
Yep.
And I always painted a picture, the facade, the pretty house with the broken foundation, and I think maybe that's actually part of the reason why I shave my head every couple days, quite honestly, just because I've a little bit of OCD, a little bit. and kind of that perfectionist thing, kind of.
And I dealt with that as well.
And I don't like to spend time on myself. I don't like to spend time working on myself. I don't like to spend time, even in the morning. It was always a get up and just go. It was go, go, go. As soon as I was up out of bed, I was moving. And so, like if I had my hair grown out.
This is grown out.
Yeah, this is grown out. Seriously, this is grown out. This is me ready for a haircut. I'll buzz it in a couple days, if not tomorrow. Getting up and having to do something like that. No, I'd rather not. The only times I've had my hair grown out was so that my daughters could braid hair. They're both really, really exceptionally good at that. And I grew my hair out. It was down past my shoulders, my middle back or whatever. Maybe it wasn't that long, but it was pretty freaking long. And I didn't really like it, but I definitely.
He has shown me pictures. It was long.
Yeah, there's evidence.
There is.
But I did it.
Soon to be leaked.
So that not releasing those photos.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, I was always fine. Always fine. I catch myself doing it every now and again still, but then I'll correct it and be like, no, actually I'm not.
Yeah, I never understood the fact of why it was so hard to just tell people the fucking truth.
Well, the truth is always so far from us, or at least for me personally.
I never knew what was going to come out of my mouth if I didn't say I was fine. So I feel like it was just my go-to trauma response in a way, because that's what my brain defaulted to after years of drug use and drinking. So yeah, I'm fine became a normal part of vocabulary. Like he said, it was pretty much everybody. It didn't just have to do with family and work. I could be walking through the supermarket and someone would be like, "Are you okay?" Or I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm fine."
I don't like.
Was I fine?
I don't like to lie.
No.
I don't like liars.
But saying I'm fine didn't seem like a lie.
Every day and all the time. How you doing? I always called that a loaded question. Couldn't stand it, and I hated when I asked it, because when I asked it, I was setting myself up for failure. Walk by you in the store and say, "Hey, Colton, how you doing?"
I'm fine.
And typically the person's going to ask the same question back.
Yeah, how are you doing today?
That's what I mean by setting myself up for failure.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm all right.
All right. So we're both fine.
That was a mile-long conversation in 4 words, between each of us,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Expressing feelings, recently realized that's okay.
Yeah, I didn't even know I had feelings, nor which one was supposed to be what when certain things were going on or when I was on whatever I was on at the time. Feelings were all distorted. Emotions were definitely confused.
I was drinking and smoking to numb my feelings so that I didn't feel them. So that, and certainly if I didn't want to feel them, I didn't want somebody else to feel them.
I wanted my brain to not brain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
I just kind of coast through life day after day after day and just, all right, this is it. But man, I'll tell you, when you stop doing all that shit and you get yourself into treatment or start working the program, I will say all of those things that me personally, I tried to numb for the last 20 plus years, they all came rushing back like a fucking tsunami. And there were days where I just cried. And you could physically, you could see it on my face. It was incredibly noticeable. And then people would ask me how I was doing. And I'd be like, I'm fine. And then they'd be like, are you sure?
Are you really?
And this time I can actually say that I'm fine. And I can tell people, like, listen, man, a lot's been coming over me. And I literally spent the last fucking 8 hours crying. And then people would be like, okay, I can understand that. And then I'd get hugs. And then they'll be like, all right, let's do whatever we need to do. Because this is a customer based business, so I would have to not be emotional for the next 7 to 8 hours, and then when I got off of work, I would tell everybody bye and thank you, and that I loved them, and I actually meant it. I still mean it. And then I would go home and I would cry. And then I would show up to a meeting. Oh fuck! I don't think that's what. And it looked like I was probably using or having a hard day or whatever, and it was literally just all the emotions that I bottled up for the past 20 or so years coming out within a month. I don't know how you experienced it.
I called you a couple days ago. What was the first thing I said? Something I never would have said for the last 35 years of my life. What was the first thing that I said when you answered the phone?
I don't remember. What were we talking about?
I called you and I'm working on the project. And
oh, I do remember. So the phone call, I asked him how his day was going, and he said, well, to be honest with you, I just got done crying, and then I called you a few minutes after.
The last 35 years of my life, that never would have been a point of conversation with me and another man, no doubt about it. The last 6 months of my life, really 7 months now, I've really opened my eyes to a lot of things and changed my perspective of myself and others. I've never been good at all. Like, that's an absolute understatement. I've always hidden my emotions, hidden my feelings, because again, why am I going to burden somebody else with this worthless man's feelings and emotions? That was my mindset.
Yeah.
I know, like, we've had this talk, and but that's where I was at. When I was.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I'd much rather you cry and feel something instead of reverting to things of the past.
The scariest neighborhood.
Yeah,
Getting stuck in there is that's not a good place to be, and I things don't go well.
Yeah, that's a fucked up place for me as well.
That's a very, very, very dark place.
It sounds like what's occurring is you're able to trust what comes out of your mouth, that you're not going to get judged, and you're able to be vulnerable enough to tell the truth instead of saying,
I'm starting to trust other people, because I never was able to trust anyone.
Dude, I didn't even trust myself.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it starts.
If I didn't trust me, I wasn't trusting anybody else as far as I could throw them.
I didn't
and
like me.
I'm not that big.
Didn't trust me. I didn't like me. I didn't trust me.
I did not
didn't
like
care
myself
about me
either. Mm-mm.
And, you know, and that inward, you know, experience is the way that we judge others.
Yeah, in the way that we think others are judging us.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is
he said
probably not reality at all, the shit that goes on up in this neighborhood over here between our ears. So, there's a lot of judgment up there. There was a lot of projecting our own insecurities and thinking that that's how people actually saw us.
You know, for 20 plus years, I'd go into a room and there might be 5 people, there might be 25 people in that room. They're all, you know, opening up and telling their life story. They're telling their worst parts about themselves. They're telling the deepest, darkest secrets. And I'm just sitting there judging them. But it was that inward projection looking outward. You know, I was really judging myself.
Yeah.
And, you know, looking at them saying, you know, whatever it was, you know, oh, I'm not as bad as that, or, you know, geez, well, I never did that, so I'm not that bad. Whatever it might have been. And, you know, then I'd dip out halfway through the meeting, you know, or right before the prayer, right before the end, you know. And never actually stuck with it. Never talked. Absolutely never talked, because I wasn't going to let them know how crazy I am. You know, first time I did talk, September 3rd. And I cried like a kicked puppy. Sat outside and had a meeting after a meeting with another man, and Tom opened my eyes about some things, and we talked for about 4 hours. And I call him every couple days, talk to him. I see him in the meetings. We talk, if not, you know, 2 or 3 times a week, sometimes maybe more. And I never say I'm fine.
It's called growth. Yeah, if somebody, the I'm fine thing doesn't, I don't even think it's part of my vocabulary anymore. I'll just straight tell people exactly how I'm feeling. They don't even have to be that close to me.
Yeah.
They could just be like, hey man, are you having a good day? And I'd be like, you know what? Today's actually been going really well. This, and this happened, and I would tell the truth. I will tell the truth. And it's crazy because, like I said, I almost lost the golf cart off the flatbed. Almost rear-ended a car full of people the other day. Man, I tell you.
That man almost shit himself.
I think the whole car almost did, because they saw a big truck and they just heard screeching tires, and I ended up right beside them. And then I just calmly backed up and went right back behind them. But considering that was a tiny SUV and there was a big truck in front of them, being able to tell the truth now, I wouldn't have done that shit in the past. I wouldn't have told anybody what happened. The only people that would have known was the ones right in front of me scared. And I would have walked around like a, I hate to say it, but like a kick puppy that was like, thought he did something completely wrong and was ashamed.
You know what it's called? Life happens.
Yeah, life be lifing.
Yeah, life sucks sometimes, but you know
and
what?
Sometimes you got to tell people about life, no matter what life is.
I found myself talking to a lady.
And that could be very hard to do.
Grocery store the other day. I bumped carts, and I almost said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Almost that trauma response, right?
Yeah.
And Nope. It was... Excuse me.
I didn't see you there.
That was my fault. I didn't see you. Came around the corner too fast. She said, "Oh, no problem, honey. How you doing today?" And I said, "You know what? It's been a good day. Yes, if I would have seen you, honestly, it wasn't such a good day." She's like, "Why not?" And I told her, talked to her about it. You know, it was just one of those days where you're driving behind somebody in the fast lane and they're going 20 miles an hour in a 50 mile an hour lane. And, you know, I mean, I didn't make any gestures. I held my composure, but, you know, it's like walking behind, excuse me for saying so, but it's walking behind a 90-year-old person in the grocery line when, you know, there's no space to go around you, and I just got to take it slow. Slow down. Slow it down.
Yep.
That's a hard thing to learn. Because I've gone 1,000,000 miles an hour for the last 3 decades plus.
Yeah, it's like our past episodes about learning how to give yourself grace and learning that the pause is for you.
That rolls right into this.
It's literally learning that it's for you and that it's for you to be aware and just slow down and breathe. And most of the time, everything works out without you having to force it or control it. At least I found that for me in the last few months. Everything's just... It's been really good. Like, I didn't think there was ever going to be light at the end of my tunnel. And now I don't feel like I'm even in a tunnel.
You know what's changed that for me?
I feel like it's all light. What's that?
I wake up in the morning, I say my prayers, and I meditate on it, and I give God the time to respond. Because prayer, for me, prayer is talking to God. You know, the God of my understanding, which is not the same God that I grew up with.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't even think I grew up with one. It wasn't talked about in my household at all.
My folks are religious.
I started going to like a youth group as a teenager with my best friend who's no longer here, but other than that, I didn't. My family, there was no Bible, there was no God talk, there was no none of that.
I worked for the church that I grew up at. You know, not just like...
I did not know that about you.
Not just like service work, but yeah, I was a youth director. So I would schedule events for the kids from 5 years old to 19 years old, whether it was the whitewater rafting trips to North Carolina or, you know, plunger baseball. You ever play plunger baseball?
That's a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing. Plunger.
Well,
like, you know.
Yeah, I guess I got a
toilet bowl plunger.
I guess I got a new sport to learn.
Yeah, but we wouldn't use baseballs. You know what you use? The big old bouncy dodgeballs or beach balls.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, it was fun. But I was not into the church. I was a paid employee. I wasn't there spiritually.
But yeah, being with God and saying the prayers like you just mentioned and talked about, it's become a thing in my life as well. And I don't entirely say the same prayers every single day per se. I have learned to pray about gratitude and thankfulness for still being here, for still having another chance, for the people that have entered this chapter of my journey.
That's fair.
And a lot of it's just gratitude for the peace, the clarity that's come into my brain, because I'm pretty sure I fogged it up quite a bit. Had a few concussions in there too, so I don't think that helped anything.
Yep, same here.
I
understand something about that.
But yeah, giving myself time to actually slow down and pay attention to my breathing and just be consciously aware that I know that's when I connect the most with my higher power. Now, granted, I talk to him all day long in the truck with me because I drive for a job. So
especially when you get pancakes somewhere.
Yeah, oh my gosh. There was a whole
the drive home. Thank you guys for that.
There was a whole 5-minute conversation where from the outside in, I was, granted, it looked like I was talking to myself, but it was more of a co-pilot to pilot situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to my higher power, saying thank you for letting me be aware, even if it was at the last second, to avoid an absolute disaster. And also being thankful that I don't know if the word is brave or courageous or what, but the fact that I could just tell people without feeling guilt or shame about what happened. I could just openly express it. And that is such a relief that is weight I never have to carry. It's an experience that I experienced, and I was thankful for the experience. I was thankful for the experience, and that I told other people, I told my God, and that's something I don't have to carry.
Yeah.
That's just a weight completely lifted. And it feels, oh my goodness. The amount of weight that I've forced myself to carry in the past, I feel like I should damn near be crippled, or my bones shouldn't work. But yeah, it's just I don't really know the word for it. I just have a ton of gratitude for being able,
enlightening. You know, to be able to give it up, give your worries and your frustrations, your anxieties, your fears, whatever it is, resentments, give it up to your higher power and just let it, like you said, co-pilot to pilot. I've been the pilot of my life for as long as I can remember. But, you know, months ago, you know, it was, you know what? I don't have to be the pilot. I can let him be the pilot, and I'll take the co-pilot seat. Let him have control. Give him what he's good at, because I'm obviously not. It's what put me in the positions that I've been in.
Yeah.
You know, trying to pilot. And I'm not a good pilot. I never took those classes.
Me neither, and we spent years trying to control the universe, thinking that what we were doing was the right thing, and it's like, there's already a consciousness out there that knows the right thing. And all we gotta do is not have to control the outcome of every single situation or thing that happens in life.
Prayer in the morning.
Prayer
Throughout the day.
Definitely prayer and talk throughout the day. I always connect with my higher power.
And say thank you at night.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
You can say thank you in the morning when you wake up.
Yeah.
Say thank you during the day. Thank you at night. This whole gratitude thing, I'm really glad it's become a part of my
daily routine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, there are days where it's difficult to come up with that list, and you know, other days where it's just like boom, 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 boom. I'm texting it a minute or two after I started it.
And one of the crazy things is, well, I don't know how it is for you, but for me, I am 100% grateful for my past, even though I've fucked up a lot. Yeah. I did things that I thought were, what's the word? I didn't think I could be forgiven.
Right.
But if I forgive myself first, then that gives a chance for the other person to have the ability to forgive me through my forgiveness.
And that is where we're letting go of I'm fine. It's all good. I'm fine. I've got this. I did not.
I don't got it. I'll tell you that.
have
My
it.
higher power got it. I just,
Yep.
man, I've learned to just give up the control and the I'm fine aspect. The I'm fine is a trap.
Absolutely.
It is a full out trap. It never helped me in anything.
I just thought of what our next episode could be.
What's that?
Well, should we talk about it now or leave it in suspense?
Suspense always works.
You'll have to wait.
You're gonna have to tune in and find out.
Tune in for episode 6.
But yeah, I'm fine as a trap. So it's being able to tell the truth and being able to be vulnerable enough to tell the truth without shame is growth by all means.
Yes, sir.
And in this program, we have this God analogy that Matthew over here taught me, and it's pretty awesome.
All right, so for me, I'm big into acronyms and symbolisms. Now, the acronym for me for God is grow or die. Quite simply. There is no third option. Absolutely none.
And the other thing he taught me is a truth shared is a truth halved. So that is really big. So as long as we can reach out without shame, can reach out without guilt, contact another human being and tell them.
Wait, don't tell them what the next episode's going to be about.
Oh.
We haven't even talked about it, but he's touching on it.
My bad.
All right, Joe.
But yeah, this has been a very good episode. We could probably go on
Right.
for another 30 minutes. I think we did good. If you guys have anything, please comment. Please let us know your thoughts.
Yes, please drop some comments and let us know. Give us some ideas if you want to hear a topic. You want to hear us talk about something, or you just want to hear us shut up. Tell us.
And if you do like us and you we do have apparel and stuff.
Yeah. Well,
We got some shirts.
Hit
and
that follow button. Hit
Yeah.
that like button.
what he said.
What I said. What that guy said.
Yep.
All right.
All right, we love you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll
Appreciate
see
you.
you at episode 6.